Let's go.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome back, and we continue with Major.
Major three. Yeah.
Week 2.
Yeah. So, even though this was like 15 minutes ago for y'all, the viewers at home, this will be a day in between.
Yeah.
So, y'all just got done dismantling a van, meeting Adam Lan, whatever, Vietnamese man, and knocking out a few thugs, and now you're driving your way to Georgetown, which, if you remember, is where supposedly the thing is going to be set up from Lee's contact.
That movie.
No, not the same.
I know.
One.
I know.
I'm sorry. It's not the same thing.
Sorry.
But,
Sorry to disappoint you.
Yes.
So yeah, as we continue to drive on MCA, because I actually said I was going to do this at the end of the last episode, and I almost forgot. Mesa called to her order contacts and asked for a file on Adam to be sent to her at this location where they're going to at Georgetown.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, excellent. Yes, she hangs up without saying anything else. And
you were told that it'll show up somewhere in one of the museums around there.
All right. Yeah. So then, she hangs up and starts texting again as we drive into town.
Yeah. From the view, Georgetown is really nice. Georgetown, South Carolina, nice place. There's like a nice waterfront view. The streets are paved with like cobblestone and shit. It looks kind of like a 1670s city because it was built in the 1670s. But there's a university. There's assloads of museums around.
Damn it!
Occasionally you'll see like a horse-drawn carriage giving tours to people. It's great. Nice little quaint place.
Yeah. So as we pull in, MCA leans over the side and knocks on the door.
Yes?
Yeah, I shit, I need to scroll up because we put some shit in the chat, so okay, real quick here. Jet, I need your help with something.
Okay. He comes out the window and flips up onto the top of the car.
Nice moves. Listen, this thing that you gotta do, how long do you think it's gonna take?
It depends.
Okay, well...
if we're lucky, it's not going to take much time at all. It's easy, it's peasy, they keep on doing it. If we're unlucky, we're unlucky.
Right. Listen, I gotta do something in one of the museums. I'm not entirely sure which one, so this could take a little bit. If I'm not back here by the time you get done with your thing, hold up for me. I promise I'll explain more about what's going on if you trust me on this.
Yeah, sure. Just try not to shoot a gun right next to my head. He kind of puts a finger in his ear and eeks it.
Yeah, sorry, not you. Usually, used to dealing with firearms. These things are fucking loud. Also, yeah.
He just raises an eyebrow. Mm-hmm. You might not want to say that, Marine.
Oh, yeah, right. She, reaches out to offer you a handshake. Again, promise I'll tell you a lot. I'll fill you in a lot more after this is done.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna go ahead make a call to the brothers, see if anything's been turned up on your end.
All right. To the who?
To the brothers. My brothers.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so to the GM.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, jeez. Yes. I'm sorry. I was looking at timers and stuff, and because it's close to where I set the my alarm to, I'm just going to cover that up with shit right now so that it doesn't make as loud of a noise. Yes. All right. So meeting up with your relatives, contacts.
I mean, the people that we've got here are, contacts. But he's also going to make a call back to his brothers
Mm-hmm.
and see if there's been any motion on, research on the stuff that he had gotten from MCA at the end of the last filming that we did. Trying to figure out about the parents and such. I believe it was
The parent?
or was it brother?
Father.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
Well, actually, I mean, doing full on. Let's do the LexisNexis here. Let's see if we can get the mother.
Oh, yeah,
'cause maybe we can get there. We can
possible-
get father. So on. So
Yeah, possible missing brother and also a missing father.
Okay. Wait, you're looking up a missing... I'm confused now.
He's trying to look into MCA's long lost father
okay.
and like a suspected brother.
Okay. Alright.
Because after all, apparently the order has not been forthcoming lately.
That's fair. I'm just rolling some
Dice.
stuff.
Yeah.
No, the answer does not bode well for you.
Oh dear.
So you call them up and they have found Jack right now.
Oh.
Jack shit.
No,
Ah,
God.
that's a shame.
Mm-hmm. Shame.
Yeah,
You might be hearing some chatter from the East Coast fellas,
Hmm.
Just, I'm going to try and keep my head down, but I'll also see what I can stir up at the border crossings, like was the original point. This looks like it might be significantly bigger than we thought it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Wait. Gosh, me out of character. I'm sorry, anyone at home, if I'm stumbling and fumbling around. The system is still like new to me,
Yeah.
so I
fine.
very much apologize.
no worries.
Yeah.
Is there something you're specifically
No,
trying to...
I just feel like I'm stumbling around, and I'm not
no.
like yeah.
No, not too badly.
I'm
Honestly,
doing
it's fine.
extremely sloppy. This
Fine.
It
Keep
only comes
going.
off like that when you
Yeah.
when you bring it up.
Yeah.
So moving
Yeah.
swiftly
Really.
along.
yes.
We actually MCA is going to say, yeah. Listen, one other thing. Lee, can you take Malvolio and Olivia with you to deal with your contact things? Maybe I'll take the federal and the and Edward and Sonny with me.
You want me to bring a nun and a crippled British boy to a meeting with a Hong Kong-based crime organization?
Well, you can do that. You can take Captain America and the federal agent.
I'm honestly not sure which one is worse, and I think that I should just be running down the street right now and leaving you in my dust.
Look,
That
I'm not.
sounds like the best plan. Honest. No.
You have a better chance on your own than this group. No.
The flask comes out. Oh, it opens it up. With courage. Okay. Alvolio, can I trust you not to talk too much? Sometimes they get touchy about British accents.
Malvolio shrugs. I'll come if you need help, but otherwise I'll figure out something else to do by myself.
I don't think it should need help, but I suppose it wouldn't be bad to have you and Olivia there as backup in case something goes horribly wrong. He looks at the wheelchair. I mean, you can go ahead and do that thing with bringing out the potential of muses, whatever. I assume that she's got one. Just stay back and I'll shout if I need you.
Fair enough.
Good. So, the party's splitting up.
Yeah.
Yes.
I imagine
So.
one half of the party is going to the the museum, and the other half is going to a crime organization.
Oh boy.
Unless, of course, nobody really wants to go to the museums, in which case,
true.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
I was going to
Also,
go to
places-
Tractor Supply Co.
Okay, well, why don't you do that then? I do that then. It's your character.
Going to Supply Co.
Yeah, it's a Tractor Supply Co.
Oh
It's a
my
chain
God.
with a wide variety of agricultural and livestock supplies, plus tools, workwear,
God damn it.
Fair enough.
Gosh.
You do you.
Which means
What, are we just going to get like a combine harvester to hang off the front of the RV?
Oh,
Right.
God.
Oh my god, that is
I mean,
the
that's
best
not a bad
That's
idea.
insane.
That is a terrible idea.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yes, I'm sure about that. I get the feeling we might do it anyway.
Oh no. Anyway, carrying on. So, Combine Harvester Man, nun and martial artist, and federal agent, PI and his assistant, and not British.
And not British, not spy.
And totally not spy.
Yeah.
Alright.
So yeah, I'm going museum hopping. Anyone who wants to come with me can, but I imagine someone should probably back up Lee in case anything goes wrong. You could probably take Edward with you if you really want. He's, not as likely
I can
to...
also stay in the car unless I'm needed.
Alright, if you want to stay out of it, sure.
I could
Well, I mean-
go in if I want to be wherever
Edward,
I'm
how flexible is your morality?
Eh?
Very. No.
Pretty.
I'm going to
Excellent.
fucking
Come on.
compel... Okay. But yeah, go.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I know what's
fucking
gonna happen.
compel the
Yeah.
shit out of him.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Gosh.
Woo.
I watched them... I assume Sonny's going with him as well.
Well, I'm actually going to compel Sonny with...
Oh, okay.
My boss lied to me. Let's
Okay.
not go with Edward.
Well, she's your character. You don't have to compel her.
I know. I'm just saying that out of character because I
yeah,
really
yeah.
just want to be like, no, I'm doing something. It's fine. This is my reason why.
Okay, so Olivia, Malvolio, and Edward are going off to meet the mob, and I'm taking Sonny and the FBI agent with me
Yes.
to go museum hopping.
Yes.
Mhm.
Awesome.
This is going to be the best. Oh boy.
So here's what's gonna happen when we get back to me. I'm gonna have a little chit chat with these two lovely ladies and fill them in on Edward a little bit.
Oh no.
This is going to be good.
Oh, my God.
So why would these guys go first? Because I need to think about how I want to describe Edward's past actions.
Oh god.
You know what? This is going to get even better because Lee actually wants to get some information out of Edward too.
Oh, this is going to
So
be
we're
the
going to hear
best.
Edward's words, and then we're going to hear MCA's.
Oh boy. All right. So first,
Here, take a nip.
Yeah.
He's offering the flask to you, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm gonna grab the pizza. Real
I mean,
quick
it's
while you are.
great wine. There's nothing to complain about. Totally.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't get quite the best stuff here. It's just, like a real good plum wine.
Yeah, still better than grocery store wine.
Well, you can be sure about that. So, you were in Quad City, right? We established that earlier.
Yes, we did.
Uh-huh. And, you know more about it than most.
I was fucking there doing half of it, of course.
Right. So, and then you ended up as Jimmy Jailbird, the private detective in Chicago, right?
Yes.
So that screams to me that you went ahead and you took a deal for clemency, right?
Out of character, I don't know.
Essentially, he's saying you went ahead and
Yes.
you
You cut a
went
deal.
into witness protective. You cut a deal.
Is that something Edward would like to
Yeah.
admit to, though? I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty obvious, but
Yeah, it's there's a moment of hesitation before yeah.
I mean, you do know that they can hold that over you pretty much forever.
I mean, they already are.
Yeah, that's kind of my point. I do not know why you were dealing with the government there.
Because I had nowhere else to go.
Oh. You were what? How old?
17.
17. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Just, here's the thing. Whenever they pull one of those things like that and they, bundle you off, unless you are, turning state evidence essentially against the group that was there, that's not them really doing the whole bargain thing with you. That's not witness protection. That's just keeping you around and keeping something over your head. Which means that at the moment, this secrecy is working against you.
I mean, there's not a lot I can do now. I am being necktied by this. The entire media thinks they've seen my face all over.
Well, business card flips up into your face. Shaw Siblings Legal Firm.
My mother and father were both lawyers. Well, I don't really know much about what my dad's doing, but
he was.
Well,
he was a lawyer at some point.
Here's the thing.
Lawyer's a strong word.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, Edward. You were at the center of probably the greatest, or at least the center of the instigation of probably the greatest civil rights violation in our country's recent history. Fair to say?
Yeah, that's pretty fair.
Now there's a bunch of propaganda about how we all just need to be protected, and they're trampling on our rights. Freedom of movement. Frankly, they're even going after freedom of speech a number of times.
Yeah, I've seen that a bit.
Do you know why I'm actually here?
Was that something?
There isn't really any evidence in game to suggest that freedom of movement is being restricted, is there?
Oh no,
we're traveling across America.
Well,
no, that's the thing.
The borders
They
between
have
all the
borders
states.
are crossing is
Yeah.
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 That's not normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the?
I mean,
real
you
reason why
haven't
I'm
been
here,
to
Edward?
U.S., but, you know.
I don't know.
Normally,
Exactly.
what do you-
It's something
Just kinda
that's.
Looks at himself. Do I look like I need the money?
No, you don't need the money. You're in it for something bigger, like probably Miss Government Agent is probably what that. I'm not good with puns.
Just don't try. If you can't come up
He
with one,
just
don't
gives
try.
up. No, that was in character. I'm not good with it. Yeah.
Look, here's the deal. What I'm trying to do is create some incidents that are going to be large enough and in the media enough to go after legally. Because believe it or not, the Constitution still matters.
Of course.
You have more inside information and more reason to be able to say where the government is lying.
I know about the stuff on that day, for sure. And they were telling some lies. Not completely, but here and
Of course, not
there.
completely, but they're going ahead and twisting it for their own benefit, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Look, here's the deal. What the government is pretending to offer, I can offer for real.
Malvolio,
Yes.
I would like to compel Got Your Back to have Malvolio offer Edward full protection if he decides to come out to help make the world a better place by telling his story.
Uh,
I will. Would you like to take my drama point?
yes,
My
I
date point?
will.
Okay.
Edward, you know there was always a place for you back at my home. Madison said so much herself.
Edward, I'm compelling you with
Yes.
those damn green eyes
I fucking knew it.
to accept his
This protection and blow your
Protection.
fucking cover.
Yeah.
Oh god. I mean, fuck it. Sure.
Excellent. Look, it doesn't have to be right now. But we're going to need to go ahead and get a lot of this down, get the story straight, learn as much as we can, and we will shove it down those assholes' throat.
Mm-hmm.
We are going
I
to
am honestly
expose
a
them
little bit
to the
confused about
fucking light, and they are going to scatter like the cockroaches they are.
What was that, Mobile? Or was
Out of
that
character. I'm a bit confused about what this plan is.
They're basically going to reveal all the details of what happened in Quad City, essentially like revoking all of Edward's protections in order to have a chance at like revealing the truth.
Right.
Which, by the way, while Malvolio would definitely be willing, like, because again, I compelled you, you're going to want to try and help Edward to keep safe. That would include blowing the lid on Medusa and Blue Skies. Like, something that he should probably be keeping in mind is that what Edward is essentially, like, agreeing to and has now, like, set himself to do. He's been compelled and accepted. He has to try and do this.
Mm-hmm.
Is going to be revealed, like, the truth behind what he knows about the Medusa Project and the Blue Skies.
Okay.
So,
Oh.
just in case something happens, I can start making a few recordings. Maybe I'll jot some things
Kit,
in my
you're
notes.
an asshole. I accidentally clicked on that fucking video link, and it... and now that's gonna be in the video. Congrats.
Oh no!
Okay, so a digital recorder flips up in front of you.
I mean, that works.
Hey, paralegal, always be prepared.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense. My mom would have said the same thing.
So yeah, Edward, what exactly do you say? Like what are the broad details at the very least? You don't want to go into the whole thing right now.
Go in the nitty-gritty if you want.
Yeah. What exactly do you reveal? And keep in mind, you are accepted to compel. You are going to spill your guts.
Yeah. He flicks it on and then like holds it out kind of at an awkward angle because he's not cinematic. Yes.
Yes.
He's not good with cameras.
No, it's just a microphone.
Oh, it's a
He's not good with cameras.
Is that good? Is this a butterfly? No. Anyway. So, my name is, like, just for the record, my name is Edward, and I was there in the middle of all the Quad City shebang. I saw the explosion that completely collapsed Quad City directly. I saw so many organizations like planning their moves way ahead.
Naming them?
Yeah, if I remember right, there were the Medusa Project, the Frankenstein Project, a lot of things about Blue Sky, which Madison herself absolutely hated. The government lied a lot throughout everything. It kind of was a terrorist incident, though a lot of it was just cover up by the government agents. Everything had a reason for happening, and while Murdoch was a complete asshole, he was not a ringleader of any kind of like kid organization. No,
I was in that kid organization. No.
Yeah. I was in that.
I was part of the Junior Detectives League that he set up, but we didn't blow anything up. Well, okay, we blew some stuff up, but we weren't terrorists. We were just
trying
heroes
to be
causing terror.
terrorists. We weren't trying. That wasn't our intention. It happened, but mainly because of other people attacking us. At least to my knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's enough for now. I need a bit of time to get it all out.
No problem. takes the recorder, clicks it off.
Mm-hmm.
So you are aiming to reform the government?
No. The government gets formed and put forward by elections, at least the elected officials. The bureaucracy is the bureaucracy, but the simple fact of the matter is it's entirely too easy for the government to go ahead and get away with things. But that's why we've got the justice system.
Mm-hmm.
One of the nice things, sometimes, about this country is the fact that judges care about the law more than almost anything else. Let it fall where it may, let the deluge come, they care about the law. And there's still a number of great protections that are enshrined in the Constitution. It's a country for the people, by the people, of the people. And sometimes assholes who have put too much power together need to be reminded of that.
Well
Playing a
said.
dangerous game here. You might end up dead.
Yeah, well. He smiles. It wouldn't have been the first time. Now, let's go talk with some people who are definitely on the other side of the law.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I will note to you that everyone deserves their equal representation in the justice system,
Mm-hmm.
even if they are on the wrong side of things.
Jeez.
Jeez, yeah.
By the way, there is a distinct note of bitterness there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I imagine you go. Where's the contact location? Is it another noodle shop, or is it
I
somewhere?
somehow doubt that there's a particularly
Turns out
there's
every
much
noodle
of a
shop.
Chinatown in Georgetown there.
Turns out, well, don't worry. It's a land of fiction. Anything's possible.
Okay, we are going to Georgetown, Chinatown, Georgetown.
Here we go.
Oh boy.
Man, Georgia is known for its Brazilian-run
God. Chinatown.
city, and now Georgetown has a Chinatown in it. Oh man, is it Little China George? Little George Chinatown.
Little China on the lake.
Whatever. Anyway,
God.
you're in Chinese Georgetown now.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a weird amalgamation between the styles of these buildings and the weird 16th century or 17th century architecture.
Wait. All the buildings are built in 16th century Chinese
No,
architecture.
17.
Sorry,
17th
17th century Chinese architecture.
Not Chinese architecture, but it's like a weird clash of both modern and older ones.
Okay.
Being that, which clearly shows that this area of the city is kind of newer. Kind of. This Chinatown hasn't been there for the last, hasn't been there for that long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a newly gentrified area.
Ta-da! Commentary.
Oh boy.
Yes. So, do you enter a mahjong place, whatever. Mahjong?
A Chinese mahjong,
God.
I'm so sorry.
Really is Shadowrun.
Okay. Aw. Okay, it's whatever. It's a
card
some place.
game.
Everyone's gambling with cards, and there's
They
like
were
a
wearing
mahjong
kimonos.
Shut
Game.
up.
Who just joined?
Nero.
They're wearing kimonos.
Of course.
Yeah. They're playing dice and card games. They're gambling.
I'm so sorry, anyone watching. I gotta find it. Anyway, there's different gambling games going on. Everyone looks shady except for George. He's a really cool guy. They named him after the town.
Big Trouble in Little Georgetown.
Moving swiftly along.
George, how you doing?
You know. I'm really good. Hi.
Hello.
So, I
Hi
was supposed to
there,
meet someone here,
George.
George. Can you point me the right way?
Yeah. I go in the back. Let me grab
Thanks.
my keys.
Is he a fucking muppet?
His mouth opens in an awkward way that you don't, yeah.
Someday I'll find the Mahjong connection.
You'll
the
find
lovers,
them in
the
there.
dreamers, and me.
You'll find them in there. He unlocks the back door that says private, worker
shit.
employees only. Opens
The
it.
pirate knows exactly where this stuff is. Sorry, go on.
God damn it. It ain't easy being green. God. So you enter the door. He locks it behind you because that's the standard procedure.
Right, and then he runs into the room that we've just entered through another door, puts on another Muppet on his hand, and then starts acting as someone else like that.
A man that you don't see the hand up his ass. No. There's a group of older men at a table who notice you come in with your two compatriots. Wait, it's two compatriots, right?
Ready? Olivia's there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair. Hello.
Hey,
Hi. Why don't you sit down?
lead us.
I didn't expect this much company. So
Yeah,
sorry.
neither did I. But I had to keep them out of trouble.
Yeah. The same goes with George. Even though he's my son, he's not that good at fighting.
He's friendly and lovely for your customer service.
Yeah,
The same Muppet, but he's got a beard on.
I mean, what do you expect from a guy who works at MIT? Not able to really defend himself, especially when he's visiting here.
Yeah. I heard he had a new exploit to follow up on. Care to give me an inside line on that?
Yeah. A new exploit?
He's essentially saying he hacked something.
Oh. Not really. It turned out that he was trying to hack into,
The CIA.
well, he was trying to hack into a whole thing about some information, and didn't really get much on it.
Oh.
You know the that girl's family or whatever. that
Which
you were
one were you
looking
talking
into?
about?
The one that you said you're with right now.
Oh, right. Oh, he's been helping out with that?
Yeah, and he ended up hacking into the wrong file. Started, finding out something about some weird housing crisis thing and some politicians. Didn't really work, so whatever.
That housing crisis thing, that might be something to follow up on,
I don't
You
know.
got any corruption to... He wiggles his fingers, worm our way in with?
Maybe, but for now we don't really have much information on that. But he pulls up. He motions to one of the other older men at the table, and one of them pulls up a sealed brown envelope and puts it on the table, sliding it towards you. These are your passports.
Opens it up. Takes a look.
They are all fake government IDs.
Very nice.
High enough rank to where where after the first inspection you shouldn't have any issue going through a checkpoint. So rather than having to present your birth certificate, your passport, your license, and a bunch of other files, you instead just have to show this, and it'll just get you through.
Whew.
Yeah.
Sweet work. Is
Yeah.
George again?
Yeah, he had a little bit of help from a couple of buddies of his, but You know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Get the hollow. Wow.
Mm-hmm. By the way, he leans in a bit. That guy right there. He looks a bit like that kid a few years ago on the news. You know one.
Edward.
Edward's like trying to hide his face, just trying to push himself further.
No. Lee goes ahead and puts a hand around his shoulders. Yeah, Jimmy here is helping me with another big project.
Edward.
Here
Edward.
comes the greatest defender.
Yeah, you're law's greatest defender. You're not going to hide your face from criminals. You're going to tell them exactly what you think of them and their illegal activities. And you're going to tell them that they're going to straighten their lives out, or you're going to straighten them out for them.
Good.
Jesus.
You can deny the control if you want. I'll take one of your fate points.
Oh.
Oh, this is a
Do it.
big one. Edward's looking between this guy and Lee, and he feels the urge to go out and just kind of grab this guy by the shoulders, but he resists.
Okay,
it.
you know what? I'm actually going to pull something here. Lee's got his arm around your shoulders, remember?
Yes.
His fingers jab into a couple of pressure points, and I'm going to see if I can't give you the whole I'm short on breath and can't speak disadvantage.
Oh, shit.
So I am using the clever ability to go ahead and create an advantage over someone who I can get my hands on. And that'll be a 5.
Oh my god. Resist that with... I think that's... Is that careful or forceful that he would resist with?
I'm not entirely certain what he would with this one.
April, what's your opinion on it?
I'd probably say forceful, because he's basically trying to stand his ground.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Alright, use forceful.
3.
Okay,
All
that's
right.
good. That gives me...
Can I compel one of Edward's things
Yeah.
to add a +2 to this, like to his attempt to defend against it? Is that a thing that's possible?
No, Edward would
No.
have to do that himself. You can create an
Yeah.
advantage for Edward. You can do something to try and help him.
Yeah, there's no aspects.
Oh
like-
my
The
god,
funny thing
I
is-
love how
the
this
funny
is
thing
just turning
I don't
into
know how to
this.
counter pressure point control.
Yeah, well, you can basically try and distract Lee, but I like the fact that before you pressure point him, he actually was saying that he was backing down, which means I get one of his
Yes.
draw points, and one of his fate points, and he then gets silenced.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's a real shame, isn't it?
Yeah, this forces him to to push himself even further into the corner as he's...
I love it. He just slumps in his chair
Oh,
because
here's
it's
the
like,
thing.
ugh.
What's more, this is essentially coming from an arm around you. You have to come closer to Lee.
Oh god, no! Like your body goes a bit limp, and you kind of just rest your, kind of just lean into Lee.
He's like
resting
putting his
against
head
him.
to
Yeah.
Like, he puts his
Yeah,
head on his shoulder trying to look
the
away.
other hand comes up, pats Lee on the other shoulder. Yeah, Jimmy here is gonna blow something wide open. Oh, you are not gonna believe.
Hey, you sure he might look like he needs a bit of a tissue or something?
He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Okay, it just when it comes out of here in tears, don't Anyway, who are those? Who are those two?
Other people who we met up.
His little way.
I ain't. No big story on that. Or they just here
I
for
mean,
protection.
that has to do with potentially you being able to pull out all the protection contracts from the mafia up and down the East Coast, but
I'll look into it. All right.
No. This is the pot sweetening part.
Okay.
He winks.
Well, if that's everything you need,
Pretty much.
I'll have George and probably hire a couple of other people to look in that whole, girl situation. But at least you're going out and doing things, right? Glad you're doing that.
Yeah, I'll be up the coast, but, I'll come back, check in on things. Again, flash drive comes out. I'm doing updates on any of the legal papers, so here, please look them over, or if there need to be anything changed. If the firm can give you any service, I'll be back down, hopefully by the end of the month.
Good. Alright. Well, I'll have George see you out.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and with that, we're gonna jump to our other group.
All right.
Yeah.
So, so this is actually probably something that both Sonny and Elaine will be very interested in hearing, which is what happened to Murdoch and what Edward did.
Well, Elaine has heard one side of the story.
Yes.
Yeah. Time to hear the other.
She, so as they're walking into the museum and, MCA is looking around for the package, she says, so, I ever tell you about, so I don't think I told you guys really about Edward. She looks at Sonny. He's a guy, a lot like your boss. May have heard of him.
Uh-huh.
She's just gonna give him a look like I can't actually say that we're literally walking around with fucking Edward Edgeworth, wanted criminal in public, but you get what I'm laying down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, so this Edward guy, he was.
I should note that when you entered the place, the security had you put all of your electronics in a locker for you to all take out when you're done.
All right. Yeah, she drops off her phone. That's basically the only electronic device she has.
After all, don't want anyone to bring any explosives or any gas emitters or anything.
So is it all electronics or also metal objects?
It's not all metal objects. It's like coins and shit because you need to still purchase stuff if you want. But it's any electronics or stuff. Are
they patting them down?
No, it's mostly walking through a metal detector, looking at what they have.
Okay, in that case, before they go through, MCA actually pulls a gun from her waistband and puts it in the thing before showing them that it's empty. A concealed carry license.
Okay, alright. If that's alright, we have to carry it on us.
Of course. No. She, unloads it and hands it to them. No bullets, so it's perfectly safe.
Alright, enjoy your stay, ma'am.
Elaine has left all of her relevant equipment inside the van. So anything that they would take off of her, she left in the van because she knows that.
I was hoping that you would have kept I was hoping that you would have put a knife there, and then they would have been like, as you guys are walking in, they would have been like, these people are really armed.
The funny thing about this one is Elaine's a federal agent. She could legit carry a gun into there.
True.
Yeah.
She decided not to.
Yep.
She doesn't carry a weapon, or she doesn't carry a gun, so she technically could, but due to her special task force status, she tends to hide her identity as much as possible.
I got a jar of dirt. Yes, inside it.
But yes, is it dirt?
Yeah.
Shit. But yeah, so she says, MCA continues. So this Edward guy, he goes into this town a couple of years ago, a place called Quad City. There he met up with some friends. They went on adventures, and together they killed a guy. Now this wasn't exactly a very nice guy. This was a member of the mafia, real nasty piece of work. But they shoved him right out into traffic, let him get run over by a car. Then, this same little group, they had a leader, a guy named Murdoch. Now, this is all rumor and hearsay. Some people say that he was in charge of this little band of terrorists. Other people, though, and this is the time she looks at Elaine, think that Murdoch was just a scapegoat for these kids. That these, kids had a lot more to do with it than the media and the government tended to explain. In fact, some people kind of claim that Murdoch was just in the wrong place at the wrong time and ended up taking the fall for some pretty bad fellas.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was this little group, they killed a couple more people. They shot a man to death outside of a club. They blew up several cars, lifted a building right up in the air, no one knows how, and dropped it right back down again. Man was found in the rubble. And they killed a mother and daughter in their own home, tore out some of their organs, in fact. Nasty shit. Nasty. There's a woman, another mafia member, another nasty piece of work, but they found her. She'd been beat up so bad she was left crawling down a highway until eventually she bled out. You know what they also found at that place? The place where that poor woman bled out? They found a body of a child. A little girl, sweet as you'd like. Dead. Apparently she was one of the people who was running around with this Edward guy and his friends, and guess she kind of went afoul of them and ended up dying for it.
Mm-hmm.
Then they went down, right from there, right as they started realizing that all hell was breaking loose and their little reign of chaos was ending. Well, no one's exactly sure what happened, but there was a big old explosion. A whole big part of town fell down. And they found the remains, mind you, of a whole bunch of missing people. And down there they found some of the friends of these kids. The thing about these kids was, these nasty little children, they disappeared, just vanished, smoke. But they left behind a convenient scapegoat. They left behind some poor fucker, Murdoch, take the fall for them and everything they did. And this Murdoch guy, I don't know, maybe he was guilty, maybe he wasn't, but his body was left to rot by these kids. And when the government found them, they just assumed the whole thing was Murdoch and his cronies' fault. They slandered his name, pillared him, and used him as an excuse to put America into the shithole it is now.
I've looked at the file.
Yeah. Thing is, that Edward kid, one of the ringleaders, who went missing, didn't, completely off the radar. But funny thing is, one of the federal agents who investigated that whole scenario was actually from that town. But it was someone who had apparently something of a connection with Edward. And then suddenly, I don't know, right as Edward disappeared, some guy named Jimmy Jailbird cropped up and opened up a detective agency, just like the one Edward always wanted to open. Somehow, this Jimmy Jailbird was living the exact sort of life that Edward had always dreamed of. Right after Edward vanished, after committing all of his atrocities, and a federal agent who knew Edward had taken the time to investigate that whole nastiness in Quad City and declared the entire thing was Murdoch's fault. I don't know. It's sort of the weird coincidences that happen. Nothing really to be done about it.
At this, Elaine looks away from what she was looking at and turns. The federal agent that investigated was a member of...
good friend of Edward's,
somebody...
yeah. Good friend of Edward's.
To Elaine, this is very new information.
Yeah. They were friends. In fact, they were such good friends that apparently, the federal agent took a special interest in this case just to go looking into the people who went missing, particularly that poor little girl and, Edward.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, Edward, who had always wanted his own little detective agent, always wanted to be his own little private investigator. Well, I don't know what happened to him, but Jimmy Jailbird got exactly what he wanted. all in exchange for
To-
helping to make sure that Murdoch took the fall.
I'm not surprised, really.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
I
mean, it's all just
now
a
that
rumor.
I know my, there have been some lies going around. I don't know what to think.
Well, all I can tell you is the rumors. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened, but that's the rumor mill.
Mm-hmm.
And from where I'm from, when the armed services, that rumor mill tends to be pretty accurate a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there's anything that could
Speaking
be
of that-
digged a little bit more deeply, huh?
So
Yeah.
I'm going to my flaw here is gonna come up because
Yeah, I was compelling that.
some previous
Graham, take
stuff.
a point.
Yeah.
Being compelled.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll take it. So my character's going to turns like you mean those armed forces that where you picked up some English slang?
She hasn't. All right, she said bloody
She's-
hell at one point. That's
Yeah.
the only English.
And that's that. Yeah, it's not like it's been thick, but it is something that was small, and my character would pick up on.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind, you've been compelled, which means that you can't just stop at that. You're going to have to
No,
actually
no. Yeah,
properly
that-
dig here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she says, yeah, I was stationed in England for a little while before being shipped off.
Oh. See, somebody in the Marines would know that we don't actually have a base there for the
No,
Marine
I wasn't being based there. I was just being housed there while they redeployed us.
Oh, where to?
Afghanistan.
Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Stop over in England because, that makes sense.
She
So-
shrugs and says, "Yeah, no, we had see, I'm part of a intelligence unit. We kind of have to touch it base with our allies sometimes to make sure that we can verify their information."
Oh yeah. So, aside that does make me wonder though, how did this rumor mill of yours get a hold of this information? Information that somebody with my clearance level had no access to.
Actually, I'd like to, Bleel, if it's all right with you, I'd like to at this point, find the package, because this can be used for a dramatic little beat.
Yes.
Yeah, so she basically spies the package, smiles, walks over, picks it up, and tears it open.
It was
and
wedged
says,
between an old timey tractor and one of those one of those plows. You're in the section all about the history of farming.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
boy.
she pulls out the envelope, opens it, looks over, reads it real quickly, and then says, "We got the same information. Trust me, my agency is very good at information gathering." And she turns the paper to Elaine. Remember that nice young man we met in the gas station?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was interested in learning some more information. I was interested in learning about him less than 24 hours ago. Here's what I've got so far.
So, Elaine's gonna look over the dossier. How is this compiled?
What do you mean?
Does it? Okay, so each agency has its own telltale signatures on how they set up their documents. I'm assuming this is not just verbatim taking after the feds.
Yeah, no.
It's based on Chinese intelligence documents,
Yeah.
Okay.
and
Would,
it is actually
would MCA know multiple languages?
yes, she knows multiple
Yeah.
languages. In fact, this is written in Mandarin.
It's, yeah.
She looks it over and nods. It's impressive. Can't read it. But,
Sunny peeks over. I have no idea what that says.
Yeah, she shrugs and just says Mandarin. My agency prefers this as our lingua franca.
Hmm.
An American agency that uses Chinese.
She shrugs and smiles. Yeah, something like that.
Hmm.
Man, looks like there's a lot being hid here.
all you need to worry about, my dear Elaine, is that I know things about me and my people know things about what the American government has been doing to cover up Edward's past actions. Then, they are willing to tell their own agents. I can get you the dossier on. Yeah, I can get you the information on Brandy Glass, the woman who was involved in the investigation. I can also get you the original dossier on Edward Edgeworth. It makes for fascinating reading, I assure you.
What is your What do your informants have on the stuff that happened prior to Murdoch's arrival in Quad City?
Not a lot. I'll be honest. Murdoch was not really on our radar prior to the events in Quad City. He kind of jumped up in priority significantly after he encountered Edward, and we managed to dig back into previous files, learn a bit about him, his family, friends, college associates.
I'd like to see what you have, and eventually you'll have to tell me who these people are, especially your stuff on Brandy Glass.
That we're in agreement on. Unfortunately, Edward's not exactly stupid. If he realizes his cover's been blown and that, he's in imminent danger, he's going to fly the coop. And at that point, he disappears. Buck's name is left in the garbage bin of history. She looks over at Sonny. And you're out of a job.
Yeah.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried about people coming to harm Edward. What I'm worried about is what, aside from,
Oh, I'm not talking about harming Edward. I'm worried about Edward running off and leaving, all that, valuable information aside. He's, if he tries to talk, he will be murdered. And if he, is smart, he'll disappear long before that happens.
Yeah. I'll try. It's like, as far as that goes, if he decides to talk, I'll get I think I'll see what I can have some trusted people do.
Yeah. Just be very careful about this. The U.S. government is not exactly well known for, playing nice when their toys decide to start, breaking away.
Wait a minute.
And Edward is dangerous enough to have been involved with several murders already. Yeah?
You say that you can get the dossier on, government people, right?
Ones that are of interest to my, to my agency, yes.
Is there any way that you can help, with me finding the lost sibling?
MCA kind of goes from just sort of calm and slightly bemused by this whole situation to actually looking genuinely hurt, genuinely affected, and she says, we might be able to. Who are you looking for?
My brother.
Yeah, what's his name?
Baldred.
Baldred. Last name?
Drummett.
Drummett. Yeah, I'll place a call. And she actually pulls out her phone and makes it, sends off 2 text messages. I'll see what I can find. If your brother's out there and we have anything on him, I'll do my best to make sure that you get that information.
April, you did not just go ahead and send off a text message. Your phone is not with you.
Oh, fuck, you're right. Okay, I'm going to make a note. I'm going to write down on a piece of paper a note and to send off a pair of text messages when I get my phone back.
Mm-hmm.
And then she actually at that point, once she's done reading the dossier, she burns it.
Mm-hmm. Good. What the fuck? Is that blood on my... Wow, my fingers are actually bleeding. Ha!
Oh, okay.
That's weird. No. No, never mind. That was just a scab on my chin. No, it's fine. It's barely anything.
Okay.
No. I mean, I have a little cut on my chin. I guess that was bleeding a little bit, but
yeah, that's.
I guess I removed a scab. But
Okay.
anyway, yeah.
So she then just she makes a note to send those texts. Yeah, just like she puts the dossier back into the envelope and then triggers a small device to set the entire thing on fire, and tosses it somewhere where it won't set off an alarm.
Why not just dismantle it with your stand?
She doesn't want to show off the fact that that's what her stand does yet.
Right.
She's still kind of going with the whole "it's super strength" lie.
The best.
Amongst the multiple other ones that she's been slightly caught in.
My favorite part is how many lies this group is built on. There's just, it never stops. Every single session, there's just going to be a new lie. Just pile on the next.
That is, again, one of her main aspects that I've added is, again, the fact that she basically lies about everything and uses, fake identities and misinformation whenever possible.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
She's also once bitten, twice shy. Shows she's extremely paranoid and does not trust anyone.
I was about to bring that up.
Yeah.
Is Elaine the only person that hasn't really lied much?
Technically, Lee has not lied very much either.
Yeah, Lee hasn't really lied at all. I guess Sunny hasn't really lied, but she hasn't really necessarily divulged any particularly important information yet.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as you know.
Yeah.
To be fair, I genuinely actually don't know whether or not Olivia or Murdoch, so not Murdoch, Malvolio had been lying, because I don't know enough about their actual motivations or history to tell if they have been honest about the things that they have said or not.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's fair. My real question is, does MCA since she is paranoid, does she feel at all why does she feel comfortable disclosing this to a federal agent and B, someone she just met?
She's comfortable. She's not comfortable in giving away actual information. That's why she's couching it in lies. But what she does want to do is essentially, she knows that the only person in this group who actually unequivocally knows exactly who she is, and not actually who Edward has at least the best grasp on who she is. He doesn't actually know her or her name or what she does in the order, but he knows enough that he's a threat. So what MCA is trying to do here is essentially use half-truths in order, because everything she said is technically not a lie, it's just a deliberate half-truth.
That sounds like
obscuring the actual truth.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason she's doing all of this isn't necessarily to get at Edward, but to ensure that if Edward then tries to blow the whistle on her, there'll be enough distrust of him, because she is pointing out the fact that he's lied about a bunch of other things, that he won't be believed sight unseen. Again, it's not that she's trying to necessarily act against Edward. It's that she's trying to ensure that Edward can't act against her and have it stick.
True. Nothing sticks to me. I'm Grease Man.
I'm the Lady of Grease.
I am covered in grease.
Grease lightning, go grease lightning.
The one thing that she's unequivocally, that she's just completely honest about and completely upfront about is the fact is the thing that has going on with Sunny in terms of her her brother, because she genuinely does want to help Sunny, because that's kind of her own her big central motivation, and she's slowly and awkwardly trying to open up a little bit more with Lee, because she kind of realizes that Lee's probably the only person in this group who she can probably trust, because their motivations line up well enough.
Not to mention the fact that she has explicitly outed herself as an order agent to him.
Exactly. Yes. So that's she basically Edward and Lee are the two people who probably have the most on her. She trusts Lee, and she wants to trust Lee. She doesn't trust Edward.
Yeah.
That's great.
I mean, considering the last time they met, it was Madison's death.
They were literally fighting, and also Edward was, partially responsible for the death of Madison, which is something that still haunts her. She doesn't like Edward. She
tried to defend Madison, but whatever.
Yeah, no, the way she sees it, you basically put Madison in the position where she ended up getting killed. like she does not like Edward because she thinks that Edward is irresponsible and dangerously, like not taking it seriously enough.
Dangerously cheesy.
Yes, dangerously cheesy. But she thinks that Edward is dangerous not because he's malicious, but because he's incompetent and does not trust or want to put him in a position where he can hurt her.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's her thing. That's just to explain.
Yeah,
Always
but like,
good.
I have an idea of what my next aspect's gonna be, so that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Anyway, so I guess we re-meet back at the van.
Yeah, and by the way, when you get out of the restaurant, Lee goes ahead and hits another group of pressure points to give you your breath back.
Jeez. But like,
Oh,
god, he's been out of
that's-
breath that whole time. Oh.
Well, no, just like really short, shallow breath kind of thing. And like as soon as he's not going to be able to say anything, thumb jab right into the armpit, breath comes back.
Okay. Yeah, but like, MCA and all that, they get scanned again, going through. They stop Sunny, and then they're like, we need to do a pat down. And then they reach into her pockets, and they are grossed out, and she's like, sorry, sweaty hands. You grab your things, and you...
I immediately send off a couple of text messages, including
Yeah.
which basically are about trying to help out Sunny.
Mhm. Yeah. And then you all meet up at, I assume, a restaurant, so you aren't like... Since this is probably about the time for y'all to eat, and to probably share anything that you want between that.
So I because it's a group thing, she's not ready to talk to Lee just yet, but she kind of gives him a look like we're gonna have some words a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, orders a beer and a pair of sodas for Edward for Sunny and Olivia.
Oh, Dalil, how many of the passports were there?
Oh,
or is it pretty much just for Lee?
It wasn't just for Lee. I imagine you disclosed the number of people that you needed it for. So it's basically all of them. However, the one that has an actual picture is yours. So they're under the assumption that you should probably be the one giving them your ID.
So, when everyone's ordered and the waiter is away, flips it open. Hi, I'm from the government. I'm here to help.
Isn't that my line?
No,
You're not much-
with this clearance. He points at it.
God damn.
Flips it closed.
That's
Is the
high.
clearance higher than mine?
Oh, definitely, yes. Way higher. You're like a lackey compared to this.
Like, we essentially have diplomatic immunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, MC actually takes it, looks at it, flips open her own little notebook full of fake IDs, compares it, and is like, "Damn, this is really good."
Proves MIT.
I'm going to tell you right now. Yours is a get out of a speeding ticket type clearance. That is a get out of robbing a gas station clearance.
Very appropriate in this case.
Yeah. See?
It all loops back.
It rhymes.
It's like poetry.
It rhymes. Yeah.
Good. But yeah, you all sit there. They had to put together a couple of tables because of how many of you there are.
Yeah.
And
By the way, how much time do we have till the grace period is off?
the grace period has basically just lifted.
Okay. So, what's the plan?
We get as many cards as we can.
How are we hunting?
Okay, so we should probably keep moving.
Well, I want to eat first.
Well,
I mean,
we'll order.
Yeah, in general. We should probably keep moving. Take shifts driving, although I don't know how many of you can operate that size vehicle.
Everyone's
That's my
like,
spirit.
gives
I can
a
put that
thumbs
thing on
up.
I'm
two
fine.
wheels.
That is not something that I like to hear.
And I can keep it there for a quarter of a mile.
That is also not something that lightens my spirits on the matter.
Well, anyway, I plotted a route. She pulls open her laptop and kind of shows it off, which is
Fancy.
It's sort of the similar map to what you've seen on the projector in there, except rather than staying to every single main road, some parts seem to go into like woodland areas and shit. So
Yeah.
I thought that in order to get the most notes, we should probably keep to the most obvious route. But in order to, give us an actual option to sleep, we can camp out in these, wooded areas over here and here and there and there and there.
Oh,
And
I'm
there.
usually. Damn.
Yeah.
Well, I'm usually not much of one for, big old fights, but I think this is probably the best option if we want to win.
Yeah. There's not much arguing against it.
Oh, by the way, April, you said that MCA speaks Mandarin.
Yes, she speaks a number of languages.
Has she given any... When they were talking outside in the manor, did she use Chinese?
No, she was.
Okay.
Her native language is English. It's just that official
Okay,
documents
so
within the order are Chinese.
Can't go ahead and use that to twit you, so he just holds that back.
Fair enough. Like her Mandarin is actually not that strong. Actually, I'm trying to remember if Mandarin or Cantonese is the more common written language.
Mandarin
They're both
is
the same.
common.
Mandarin and Cantonese are two different spoken versions of it.
Right. Okay.
The actual character system is the same.
Okay. So no, it's just like I remember like it's like the written system is still just only called one. Anyway, planes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. It's been a really long time since I've actually spent a lot of time with like actual Chinese people. So like I sort of have forgotten a lot of what I used to know about the Chinese language.
Mm.
Let's
Anyway.
see. Mandarin would be northern and southwestern China.
Okay.
Whereas Cantonese is from, well, Canton, obviously, but
Yeah.
so that would be Hong Kong and Guangdong province.
So in that case, it would actually be Cantonese, not Mandarin,
Okay.
that she speaks.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have one stop I'd like to make on our way out of town.
Where?
That's all right. The local field office.
Sure, that's a great idea.
I've got the clearance to go into any field office and be able to use a computer for 10 minutes.
Fair enough.
No more, no
So,
less.
Lee just kind of looks at Sonny's laptop.
Huh?
That can't get into the database I'm looking to get into.
You might be surprised.
Jesus.
I was
Such a
about to
good
say
thing.
that.
Such a
What
good
was
thing that place that you want to go to is right next to the Tractor Supply Co.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
chain
it
with
is.
a wide variety of agriculture and livestock
Okay,
supplies.
so I mean,
It's cool
if you
where-
want to go there all game, we'll go to the Tractor Supply store. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Sure. We'll take a stop there after we eat lunch. So, now since you seem so damn interested in going to the Tractor Supply place, why don't you and Edward?
Did you just say Madison?
Sorry, Malvolio. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. That's what I said. I said Mal.
Malvolio thinks the tractors are sexy. They really turn him on.
Yeah. What?
Don't give Edward ideas.
Yeah. Well, she takes that out. We'll all go with you to the Tractor Supply place. I'm kinda
Does
curious-
Malvolio want to plow one of them?
I hate you so goddamn
Why
much.
are you still in this call?
The
Specifically for
answer to
Mal-
that is he was waiting for that joke.
Yeah.
He had that up his sleeve for the entire time. Me and him were talking before the game, just so that anyway.
Yeah, no, I'm just here to piss people off.
You're doing a great job at that.
No, try harder. No, regardless.
Lord. Okay, but yeah, okay, so yeah, that'll probably be the last thing we do, but fine. We'll go to the Tractor Supply place, and Ellen can look up her computers.
Elaine.
Elaine.
But yes.
Zombie hasn't has too much to do this session anyway, so like it'll be nice to let him have his whatever he's planning on doing in the tractor supply store.
Creepy
I'm
crap.
just buying some stuff. It's like,
Okay,
not even-
alright.
Nothing interesting is going to happen.
Okay, well then why don't you just tell us what you want to buy?
Olivia purchases some coal and some other raw materials.
That's
Okay.
great, but,
That
yeah.
is all.
Fair enough.
I can't wait to be told this at in private
Yeah.
chat.
Fair enough. And so Elaine, what was Elaine doing?
Elaine is spending a fate point to use her to set up some backdoor access to get at Brandy's file, like her whole career file, and invoking they know more than they're telling me. So I'm getting her entire work history within the bureau.
Balil, would you say this is clever or sneaky? And also, considering the level of clearance needed, how difficult do you think this role should be?
Oh, this can be pretty difficult.
May I make another point here? Graham, the way that you're going ahead and doing this, may I suggest that you're self-compelling yourself on digs greedily and deeply?
Ooh,
It's probably a better one, yeah.
yeah.
So here's what I probably just to like throw this up in terms of like the way the rules work. This is what I'd probably say as a suggestion. Balil, it's entirely up to you as to how you want to have this happen. But I would make this a very hard roll. You don't even have to tell us what the difficulty is or whether or not he actually succeeds. But basically, what will happen is he'll make the roll. If he passes the number, depending on how well he passes the number, either he will create a back door or create an obvious trail leading back to Elaine.
Oh, good.
And essentially tip off the suits as to exactly what she tried to do.
That's kind of what I was getting at with the whole digs greedily and deeply self-compel. On the other hand, you'd be able to use that the fate point from it to go ahead and activate one of your aspects on it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it'd be fate point neutral for you.
I will also.
Well, you only get to use one fate point, so you're already using the fate points. So basically, you're
No,
just going to refund it.
Well, no. No, I'm not going to use their no more than they're telling me. I'm going to use plans from A to Z, double Z,
Okay.
to carefully and meticulously make sure to leave no tracks by using a different login that of a colleague that is not in town, that is not in the area, but somebody that they let me know their password because so it's not a trail that can lead back to me.
Well, again,
It's still going to make you do a
depend on the roll.
sneaking.
Investigation.
Yeah,
It's
it's
still
going to
sneaky roll.
depend on the roll. Yeah.
So roll.
So sneaky.
Rest.
No. If you're rolling, this is clever. It's clever. Or sorry, it's careful. It's careful. Like you do not get to choose what you're at. You can't roll the aspects.
No, I'm saying it's sneaky.
Yeah, so it's sneaky.
myself.
So you don't get
Yeah.
to use your ability then. You don't get to use your stunt because this is not a careful roll.
No, that was an aspect. It's plans from A to double Z.
Okay, yeah, but then yeah, so that's where you're going to be using your fate points. So roll the dice, add +2, and sneaky.
Yay.
So +2. That's a total of 5.
Okay, and Balil, you don't have to tell us exactly.
I won't say.
Yeah, but basically, keep in mind, standard difficulty is 3, difficult is 5, like impossible is 7, and depending on how well he succeeded, like if she minorly succeeded, it's probably that she left a trail that is possible to find, but we'll get open up that information for later on. If she succeeded with style, no trace at all, like they just cannot find her, and she will get all the information. Failed without, minorly failed, that'll probably be essentially.
Hold on, what
she
did you
left
say you got?
5 total.
5 total.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you roll on your dice?
So I actually rolled 3 pluses and a neutral. I have a 0 in stealthy sneaky because I don't like. That's why I was trying to do it carefully. But yeah.
But there was a +2 from the aspect invoke.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Didn't you invoke 2 aspects?
No, you can't have.
No,
you can't invoke
You can.
two.
You just can't double up on the same aspect.
Yeah.
Well, no, they know more than they're telling me, and plans for me.
You can only use a single fate
yeah.
point per roll.
I didn't use they know more than they're telling me. I used plans from A to Z because I thought it would help me change it to careful. But no.
Let me check that because I'm pretty sure that the rules have it the other way, April.
Okay.
I mean, we don't have to deal with it now. I'm just taking a look.
Yeah, no, I'm fairly certain the way it is the way it's done is that you can only spend 1 fate point per roll, which is to prevent people from like rolling like a roll with like all of their fate points. Because it's specifically what stunts are for. Like stunts are supposed to be there for like when you really succeed with style on something big. Yeah. Anyway, point is, that's the roll, depending on what Belial set the difficulty at. Whenever, like, you set this up to eventually get this information, or did you want the information right now?
I set it up because I'm there at the computer. So I essentially made a printout there.
Okay,
and took it with me.
All right, so then Belial, how much information do you think that she got with a 5?
She got some information, such as the fact, like basically starting from just before Brandy joined the organization to current. So she knows that Brandy came from the area, came from an area around came from around Paradise City. Since we're, remember that. And then she basically got information on, the squadron or whatever that she ended up joining of the suits, and some of her training, and a basic idea of her power. Stuff like that. It's
so essentially, for the sake of new viewers who might not know Brandy's power, a basic information on her thing, like without getting all of the information, would probably be she has the ability to teleport.
Yeah.
All right, and then I'm just going to take it with me.
Yeah. All right. Sweet.
Any consequences for that, if any, will be found out later on.
Oh, I have some plans. But anyway.
I also have plans for if that goes awry, and if I get questioned about it, I do have answers to those questions.
Of course.
So.
Alrighty then. Sweet. So everyone gets they went shopping, y'all did the thing. You have exchanged some of your information, and you plan to go to the border the next morning.
All right.
Okay.
So that'll probably be next session, right?
Yeah, that'll be next session. So, thank you everyone for watching.
We apologize. These episodes went up a little bit late, as explained in the prior video.
Apologize if things are going a little rough. I hope you enjoy it still. This is a new system for pretty much everyone, so.
But I feel like things are going along pretty well, and we will see you guys next time for the first border crossing. As things start to really heat up, we've already got a little bit of combat going on, and the intrigue's starting to get thick as a knife
as a brick.
Butter.
Everyone's got knives pointing at each other's backs.
And we'll see how that all starts paying off as lies start to crumble and mistakes start to compile next time on Major 3.
Yeah, support our Patreon.
Till then,
Goodbye.
see you guys next video.
Bye.